Okay, hey you guys, I don't know how the lighting is in here. It's not the brightest, but I'm here with Kimiko. She just got some hair and she's so cute. If you guys can see her, move her arm down so you guys can see her face. So anyway, what I wanted to talk about today is customs. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I was talking with someone earlier today about customs and the expectations of customs when you get them, and I just think that some people don't understand customs, or I guess commissions, if you say that correctly. It's actually a commission. So when you commission an artist to make a doll for you, basically, and there's a lot of high-end artists that do not do customs. There's a lot of artists, period, that will not do commissions because of the pressures of customers. And so I just wanted to talk about a little bit about that. And so I don't particularly even like working with artists on customs or commissions, mostly because I don't really like to wait for them, and you kind of like to see what your baby's gonna look like when it, before buying it. But if you find an artist that you trust and that you trust in their work and their ability to be consistent with the quality of their work, then I think it's okay to commission them to create your own baby. The thing I like about commissions is that you can time them. A lot of artists, they can't just make it for you like right away. You get put on a list, in which case you put down a deposit, and then when your baby is completed, then you can finish paying off the remaining amount. The nice thing about that is you can kind of plan and get your money together, and you don't have to have the funds available immediately, like you would say if you were to buy a baby on eBay that does not have layaway. So with that said, I mean, there's a lot of dolls I've seen on eBay recently that I would really like to have, but I just don't like fighting over dolls on eBay, and I don't like feeling like I overpaid for a doll. Not to say that any of these artists' work is not worth what they're get sold for on eBay. I just personally wouldn't want to pay that much for a doll, because when you resell them, like, I normally don't keep my dolls forever. I know some people are collectors who have forever babies, and that's great, but I don't usually keep my dolls forever, and I know eventually I will probably end up reselling them. And the fact of the matter is, if you pay like $5,000 for a Reborn, say a prototype Reborn on eBay, the chances of getting anywhere close to that on resale market is slim to none. So yeah, you have to think about that too. I've seen a few babies being resold at very, very high prices, probably because the collector that purchased them bought them on eBay at a very, very high price. And that is like, if you were to purchase a, for instance, okay, let's use Alexa Calvo as a example, because her babies are widely sought after, and she does sell a lot of her babies on eBay. So her babies sell at a very, very high price, which is fine because her work is gorgeous. But when it resold, it's not likely you're gonna get that price when you resell it. So just, it just isn't. It's just the way that it is. If you can find someone who's going to pay that much as you paid, then great, lucky you, it's awesome, but that doesn't really happen very often. So that's just a thought to consider as well. Like, if you buy it and you do plan to possibly resell a doll down the road, be expecting that you're most likely not going to get what you paid if you, paid a high price on eBay for your doll. So back to customs or commissions. I keep saying customs, and people say customs, but all these dolls are basically customized. So I usually like the term commission better when you commission an artist to create a doll for you. So I actually do have a few dolls that I commissioned that are coming up. down the road. So that's exciting for me. I am excited for them, but I try not to think about them because it's a while away. But some artists, like for instance, when I had a custom made by another artist, she required that I pay her 100% of the money up front, which at the time I thought that was normal. I had never really done that, like I never commissioned an artist before, so I didn't really know what it entailed, and I didn't know that I was gonna pay this artist over $1,000 and have to wait almost a year for her to start my doll. I thought that was very unreasonable, and today I would never have done such a thing. So what normally happens with artists is you pay a deposit. You put down a deposit with your artist, and then they will give you a date, usually. Sorry, my legs are hurting from standing here. They will give you a date in which they will be able to start on your baby, and then give you a time frame about how long it's going to take for them to complete it. So during that time, for me, I prefer that during the process of when the doll is being painted, that I don't see any work in progress pictures. I know some people love to get the work in progress pictures. I mean, I like to get something maybe in the middle and then something towards the end, but I don't need a constant feed of work in progress pictures. You know, all I need is if I contact my artist for whatever reason, that they return my messages, and that is the only thing I pretty much request of my artists, is that they stay in communication with me for whatever reason, and yeah, and that's it. Like, I don't require a lot of work in progress pictures. I know some people like to get a lot of those. For me, it just kind of reminds me how much further there is to go on it, and I like to see it when it's almost finished. So if I need to request any slight tweaks or changes to what's happening to it, that I can do so. But mostly I like to choose artists that I trust, so that they can use their own artistic creativity and what they would like to see in the doll. Like, I pretty much just will like to request hair color and skin tones. Everything else I kind of leave up to the artist. I like them to use their artistic freedom to create what they want to create, and that's just me, though. I know a lot of people aren't like that. Some people want to have a say in every little detail, and some artists don't like that. So make sure you communicate properly with your artist and what you expect from them and all that. And like, if an artist tells me it's gonna take them 4 to 6 weeks, for instance, to complete a doll, and it takes a little bit longer than that, say it takes 8 weeks or even 10 weeks, I'm okay with that. Like, I understand that art should not be rushed. Like, you know, you want your artist to be happy with her work as well as you be happy with it. If they're not satisfied with their own work, why would that be a problem? I would think, you know, let them work it out so that, you know, they're happy with it, happy with what's going on. Sometimes something needs to be stripped and then redone because that's what's going to make it better, and that to me is more important than something being completed by a specific deadline, especially if it's art. So that's just my take on it. I don't know how everybody else feels about commissions and what your expectations are, but another artist also had mentioned that she had other friends who had customers that were upset that they were possibly working on side projects while working on their commissions. And to me, I don't have a problem with that. Like, if my artist had other things that they were also working on, that's perfectly fine. I give them, you know, a time frame, or they give me a time frame, I guess, and then we agree upon something, and what they do on their own time, or, you know, on the side or whatever, that is not my business. Like, they are more than free to do whatever they like on the side. Just because they're working on my doll does not mean they're not allowed, or it's not okay for them to work on other things as well. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents, and I hope that kind of gives you an idea on commissions if you didn't already have a basic idea on commissions. if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, and take care everybody and have a great day. Aloha!